Hello, spooks.
I remind you.
I'm waving my arms, but you can't see it.
I will do it for you.
I will waggle my ears.
Hello.
Hi, chat.
This is the last art stream before Halloween. That's why we're making spooky noises.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Kel's pointed out that this time next week will be November 1st. So
it will not. It will not be Halloween Eve. It'll
happy
be
Halloween. I mean,
Halloween come down day and tattoo Eve for me.
Ah, well, if I'm sticking to my schedule, I will be streaming on Halloween, so I will probably do something Halloween-y, I guess.
I'm just saying, I've got Phasmophobia in my Steam
No!
library, which means you do too.
No! I have a schedule. We were literally just talking about this, and I was like, hey, let's talk about this on stream.
What do you stream on Monday? You do commission stuff on Monday?
Yeah, it did. Yes, Monday
It's
is
Halloween, Blue. You gotta respect the holiday.
But I also gotta respect my commissionee.
That's fair.
So when he was paying me money.
Yeah. But after that. Yo, what's up, chat?
Yeah, sub chat. We're in peak
about
us tonight, apparently. It's a strong start.
Yeah, we're talking about some bullshit.
Hell yeah, mega
welcome,
bullshit.
welcome. I want to address this from the beginning. Last Halloween, I wrote a whole short story in a night. I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah, ain't doing that. Don't even consider. But Blue, picture how funny it'd be to watch me scream. That's what Wednesdays are for, Das.
No, that's what Thursday's for. Well, not this Thursday or next Thursday, but Thursdays in general.
Yeah. Right. Actually, because we were talking about the schedule before I dive into things. Let me just.
Yeah, I should establish for chat as well. We have a rare Una reverse stream today because every so often we have a stream where me and Blue have talked a lot and we have nothing to talk about. Me and Blue haven't spoken in like at least a week.
Yeah, like fully, because we got to play D&D together, but like we didn't really chat much before or after.
You guys saw us the last time we spoke.
Yeah. Last D&D stream was the last time we spoke, and we were talking about D&D. We actually haven't caught up in a while. So we're probably going to be yabbering. Yeah. This week. As I was explaining to Curls the new schedule, which some of you guys are probably already aware of because you experienced it last week.
It's on your schedule thing on Twitch, which I find very commendable.
Yeah. That was a job. That was an afternoon to sit down and write the schedule on the Twitch page. No, I might as well switch back over here so you guys have something to look at while I bring this up.
Let's see if I can remember it. Ready? Because I did look at it as your Twitch mod. I should know it. Monday is commission.
Yep.
Tuesday's art stream. Wednesday's D&D.
Yep.
Thursday's MMO day.
MMO day, yes, correct.
Friday is more commission?
Friday is what has been affectionately dubbed Couple Chaos, which is that
Couple Chaos.
We've basically scheduled a date night of like not spook, but me complained that we don't get a chance to do stuff together anymore because we're always busy. So as with a lot of things, it's like if you schedule time for it, it'll happen.
Yep. Hence this stream.
Yeah. Hello, Silent.
So yes, that, and then Saturday you have a day off, and Sunday's Pokemon.
Ow. Yeah. And but that's just the stuff that you guys. That's just the stuff that you guys see. That's the stream schedule. Interwoven between. Oh, ow.
Thank you, chat, for bullying Blue while I'm co-hosting.
I'm trying to be an adult. Interwoven between all of the streaming is a lot of behind-the-scenes management and maintenance.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
There's obviously VOD uploading. How? which is an afternoon. Like, that takes a surprising amount of time to do, to upload all those VODs. But there's things like, obviously, my social media is very quiet at the moment. That's something that's going to be roped into a lot of these hours, is trying to do social media more. What else? Yeah, a lot of video editing stuff. Me and Spook and Stanji have recorded playing Pokemon Colosseum together. That is a thing that is in the background.
Any recording, that Blue, Stanji, and Spook have done a lot of recording, and all the editing I've seen from it is really funny.
Yes. You've only seen about 3 clips, but those 3 clips have been funny.
It was so funny.
But yeah, but obviously I'm having to learn how to edit at the same time, so that's a very long process.
Me and you both, about the same time, decided to do the increasingly stupid thing of trying to learn to edit by doing.
I can't learn any other way, let's be real.
No, me neither.
Right, I'm going to do my arm warm-ups while we're talking about this, because
I
went to bring up the schedule that me and Spook had made together, and Spook has unfortunately spookified it in that he has broken it down into a lot of pieces, which is very sweet of him, but it's for me, I open it up and my brain immediately gets overwhelmed.
It's like, I can't perceive this much information.
I have a simplified version that is stuck on my wall, which is what I constantly look at when I'm looking off to the side. Boxed! Whenever I'm talking about my schedule and looking off to the side, it's because I literally have a simplified, dumbed-down version of my schedule stuck there, and I am trying my best to stick to it. Yeah. When it comes to your Wednesday schedule, my Wednesday is arguably my fullest day, because that is the one day that I do a double stream, which I know originally said I wouldn't do, but the idea of the schedule is to try and fill in essentially a full work week, and that is what I have now done. So it's a commission stream followed by a D&D stream.
Yeah,
it's a double day, but it does mean that like that day will have like next to no behind the scenes stuff done. You might not need to worry about that from mid-November for about 10 weeks. Oh my!
Yeah, because Das is busy.
That's fair. It's very fair. In which case it will be a case of something else fills the slot.
10 weeks. We could beat Dragon Age Origins in 10 weeks.
Let's fucking go! My dragon! That was hilarious.
I'm not joking.
I can tell from the look in your eye. I can tell.
People have made the mistake of talking to me about Dragon Age this week. Multiple people.
This is, as I said, unless you make, and I feel like especially for us as people who are, let's be honest, very much ADHD, if you don't schedule something, it will not occur. It will not occur. So, you know, I kept saying for like 2 years I was going to play through Mystery Dungeon, and it was only until I scheduled it into Pokemon Sunday that I actually started playing through Mystery Dungeon.
Blue, let's do it. I'm dead ass.
We could full on do it. That could totally be my Wednesday slot. Yeah. So my little schedule basically has a bunch of slots which all have names associated with them. But if ever for any reason said activity cannot be done at that time, that slot should still be occurring. So a commission,
something will happen.
Yeah. So even though there are slots that are labeled as commission slots, if I don't have commissions, I will still be doing something during that time.
Yeah,
just because I don't have commissions doesn't mean nothing will be happening. Is the hope.
Because that wasn't a mistake. I did it to let you talk about your blog post by showing you a comic. Yeah, Das sent me, it was like, hey, are you aware that they've announced another Dragon Age book? And I was like, no. And Das was like, hey, what does any of this description mean? And I was like,
boy!
Because like, literally I read the blurb and went, oh, all of that is bad.
Oh, good.
Like in world, all of these are bad events.
Oh,
this is a bad place to be at this time. Those are not the characters you want to be there, and it's not like, not as in like bad narratively, but just like as in shit's gonna go down. Hey, good to hear it, Silent Box. I'll make note of that. Oh my god, Blue, I did something so... Do you ever do something that's just like... Well, no, I know you do because I watch it happen, but like every so often you do things that are like very on brand. I did like a ridiculously...
I'm insultingly on brand.
Yeah, I did something insultingly on brand today, which is that I went to my favourite place to eat in Salisbury. And I was sat there I was sat there with my drink, waiting for food, and I was reading Ariadne by Jennifer Saint, which is up there.
Safer circles, I refuse. I refuse! I am
the
not
circles
saving
will
the
not be
circles.
saved. They must be sacrificed for the greater good. And I was reading Ariadne, and the lady came over to give me my drink, and she was like, "Oh, is that good? I've just got back into reading, and I haven't read anything since, like, you know, books I read as a kid." And I like talked to her about it for a bit, and then she went away, and I was like, because she asked me for recommendations, and I completely blanked on every book I'd ever read. And then she like walked away, and I was like, no, I can do better. And I pulled out my notebook and I wrote down like 7 different books, some of which were short story collections, poetry, like a big variety of stuff that's pretty easy to get through. And when she came over again to give me my food, I was like, this is actually the answer to when you asked me for recommendations. And I gave her like a little list, like a little tiny list.
No.
And I was like, that was very on brand.
I mean, I had a very on-brand moment. I think it was Friday. No, it was Thursday, I think. Yeah, it was Thursday. In, because we didn't have D&D, I decided to go on VR chat. Because I hopped into a streamer that I follow stream, and they were literally like, oh, I'm going to end the stream in like 5 minutes. We're doing a VRC community meetup thing. And I was like, fuck it, I've never been to one. I'll go. And I like log the URL and stuff, and it was like a speed dating like friend thing, the VRC world. So you go into you join the world, and there's a big wall which has, very helpfully at the top, it has your pronouns, but then underneath it has like your interests, and you literally tick them. And then when you've ticked everything, you click start, and it will pair you up with somebody else in the room who had the same like ticks as you. And it keeps you as just the two of you, and then you have a timer, and it's called, I think it says no time to talk, with 2 being the number 2. So you have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to talk to the person. So it's literally you like pop in the room, and you both look at the wall, and it's like, we both ticked cartoons. What cartoons do you like, and things like that. But it was very typical.
How many active D&D campaigns are you in?
Well, that was the thing. It was so typical. I eventually did actually get paired with the streamer, because obviously they were one of the random people in there. So, of course, it was the sort of like, oh, hi, big fan. And then they joined. I was halfway through laughing, because the person I'd had before, I was basically trying to convince to play Final Fantasy XIV. Because we both had ticked MMOs. So I was like, what MMOs do you play? And they were like, oh, I don't play any at the moment. And I was like, oh, I play Guild Wars and Final Fantasy XIV. And they were like, oh, I've always kind of wanted to try that, but I don't know. And I was literally like squatting in VR chat going, my dude, you need to try it. The first 2 expansions are free. The critically acclaimed expansion Heaven's Ward.
When I was in Waterstones today, obtaining these boys up here, nope, there. The 2 ladies behind the counter were talking about Yoshi P.
Yes.
I was like, I heard like I literally had like a meerkat response.
You heard the word Yoshi P.
Because I take my headphones off when I'm in Waterstones, and also my headphones are partly broken, as you know. But I had someone be like, and then she was talking to you about Yoshi P, and I was like,
Nani?
Nani?
But again, this is not the full story. So
carry on. Yeah.
I was fully memeing as well to try and convince them, and in the end they were like, "Oh, maybe I will," and I was like, "You should, because Heaven's Ward is great and it's free and you can play through the whole of it." And then I was like, "What's not to love? It's got dragons and Elf Pope, and you can kick him in the jeans because he's a dick." And then that was where the meeting cut off. So I just burst out laughing because that was the last thing they heard me say. And then I
cook Elf Pope then.
And then I got paired up with the streamer, so of course he pops in, they pop in, and I'm just there like wheezing, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I just got paired with someone I was talking about Final Fantasy and kicking Elf Pope in the dick. I'm really sorry. And yeah, but they were like, it's awesome. And then it was like the whole, okay, well, what do we talk about? Because of their username, I was like, D&D, and they were like, oh yeah, I absolutely adore D&D, and I was literally like, I am gonna go off, and I did. And I basically did, and yeah. And I think it's after like 5 or so rounds, there's a group round where everybody gets put in the same room. And I was still just peak me, because after like 2 full minutes of just talking the streamer's ear off about D&D, when the group round occurred, I literally turned around and they were like right behind me, and I just immediately went, I'm really sorry for going off about D&D. It's like my hyper focus, I'm really sorry. And they were like, it's fine. And I was like, I'm sorry, it just... And then I fucking did it again. I did it again for like another minute. I just went off on D&D again, and then the round ended, and I just stood there frozen. I was like, I just took up like 5 minutes of that guy's time, and they didn't get a word in edgeways, and I just like folded in on myself slightly. I just like collapsed partially to the floor, just like, oh my god, I'm so cringe.
Cringe is dead, and we killed it.
Oh, I hate myself.
It's fine.
So if they ever do remember me, I will probably just be immortalized forever as that girl who really likes D&D.
Oh.
I hate myself.
Hey, I can't say shit. I obtained 2 new RPGs this week.
Amazing.
Not campaigns, not settings. RPGs.
Yeah. Systems.
Systems. Full games. I want to run both of them. I will probably get to run neither of them. See you, bud.
See you, bud. Have a good evening.
Yeah, I obtained... I finally got the book for 10 Candles.
Ah!
I don't know how many people I've spoken about 10 Candles, and I never owned the book. But yeah, I bought 10 Candles, and I discovered they're currently developing another one, which is in, I can't remember what it's called. Is it called an ash paper? Like the second to last, like, playtest version?
I actually don't know. All I got this week was an ear infection.
Hey, that's something. No, ear infections suck. I used to get them all the time.
Yeah,
I empathize.
I mean, yeah, my ear got blocked on Sunday, so that was fun while we were visiting.
My
a friend.
headphones broke. One is going through the cluster right now.
Problems apparently.
Yeah, this other RPG I got, Blue, is called "To Serve Her Wintry Hunger."
Oh.
I want to run it so bad, but I probably won't.
Why not?
It's an RPG that's done entirely through question and answer.
Oh, interesting.
In which there are 4 players. They each play a vicious spirit.
Hype.
And then the DM, they are on the behalf of, I think the like Queen of the Winter or whatever she's called is called like Yuko Ono.
No, that checks out.
Yeah, it sounds right.
That sounds like a yokai that might actually be like a
Yes,
spirit.
I think it is like a thing. Here it is. Here it is. To Serve Her Wintry Hunger is a game about telling a dark fairy tale. The arc of this tale follows 4 wicked and deadly spirits as they hunt, harry, capture, and ultimately kill an innocent human lost in the woods. The spirits, and yes, they serve. Yes, Yuko
yokai
Ono
you're thinking of is a Yuki Onna. Yes, I'm pretty sure that
Yuki Onna is her actual name.
Yeah, Yuki Onna is a yokai, and I think is the inspiration for
I could read you this sentence, which will tell you. Yuko Ono is a yokai of the wintry solstice winds.
Yeah, I think she's one of the inspirations for Frostlass, hence why Frostlass is a ghost ice type.
Oh, yeah. It is said by the mortals who have claimed to see her that she appears on snowy nights as a tall, ethereal, and entrancing woman with long black hair and a faint blue lips. Her skin is pale, inhumanly so, and at times she stands nearly transparent. She is often garbed in a wintry white kimono and leaves no footprints in the snow.
Yeah.
None have seen her feed, but her victims are found pale and blue and icebound as she is said to be. But the idea is there are 4 spirits. What are they called? Flame, hunger, cold, and fear.
Ooh.
And they have to go and hunt this human for Yuka Ono. And it is a time.
Yeah.
I will probably not get to run it because it's an RPG where what I would do if I was running it is I would ask a question to a spirit. There's mechanics to it that basically involve having 66 and you need to roll a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4 in order.
Oh,
and
shit.
The faster you do that, the better you're doing in the hunt. That's like the base mechanics, that's it. But most of it is asking questions and like telling the story of the hunt together. But all the DM does is ask direct questions that are kind of pre-written, and then the spirit tells the story. But the spirits are like vicious. They're encouraged to like be vicious to each other. There's like a hierarchy between the spirits that's like established in the mechanics. Like some of the spirits Yoko Ono likes more, so they have an easier time.
Okay.
Like
it is very much an RPG of waking up and choosing violence.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's not a friendly game.
No. But it's a one shot. It takes about 3 hours to play, I think. Yeah. He would tell vicious snow spirits. They serve and worship and revere their icy mistress. They know of no contrary existence. They are tricky and cruel and revel in the capture and consumption of humans lost in their lady's winter winds. They are not kind even to each other. These spirits are competitive, boastful, and arrogant little braggarts who mock and threaten and manipulate their fellows. But of course, despite their torturous games, callous jests, and harsh belittlements, they all serve Yoko Ono, and not one of them would let their vicious competition stand in the way of success. It's like you're like trying to get one up on each other, but you also, if even one of you fails, you all lose. So like, it's a thing of like, you want to win the most, but you also can't let anyone lose.
Right.
It's a fun balance. And some of the like questions are really interesting. Like the spirits clearly have like characters that the game kind of panders to. Like you get to make up the character, but the questions that it tells you to ask the different spirits are like very targeted. It's really interesting. I'd love to run it, but it is a very like hostile game. I have a lot of games like this currently. I have a collection of games I would like to play, but they're going to require a lot of careful handling. I've got, yeah, and then 10 Candles. I think most people know what 10 Candles is. I need to finish watching, there was a game that was streamed of 10 Candles recently that was like in the Salem witch hunts with like a Berea Iyengar, I can't remember his name. The guy who played the Paladin in Calamity. Help me, chat.
I haven't watched Calamity, so we're relying on chat for this one.
Come on, chat, look it up for me. But a bunch of very like decently well-known D&D streamers were on it. And I watched like the character intros of it. I want to watch more of it. Asmodeus Thirsty Boy, yeah, that's his full name. That's full out of character name.
Okay, here we go. Right, I said last week I was just gonna focus on getting everything lined.
I keep looking over here. I've got the notebook I've been using. I've played a little bit more of Telling Lies this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I have and out of context the notes are just mad scrawlings. I feel like I'm finally making a dent in that game. All I've wanted to play this week, I'm not gonna lie, all I've wanted to play is Elsinore. But I got an ending I liked on that game, so now I don't want to go back. Because I'd have to start it again. I'm on a new system, I think. But yeah, I've been watching Secret Sleepover Society play Beacon Pines, and the way that Beacon Pines work reminds me a lot of Elsinore. Beacon Pines, by the way, I know it's on your wish list and you want to play it, but like for people in chat, Beacon Pines is fucking insane. That game is so good.
Yeah, unlike Call of the Lamb, where I was like unsure if I would get it and play it, so I watched people with Beacon Pines like before I could even look at it. I had it recommended to me by like 3 different people, so I was like, cool. I will go leave it and I will go in blind at some point. I actually don't know a lot about it because I was like beaten. I was beaten to it. I was like tackled
I'm
to the
literally
ground.
not going to tell you a damn thing.
Yeah, I was tackled to the ground by my friends who were all just like, "Don't look it up, just play it." And I was like, "Okay, I won't."
It's like some books that I like a lot, which is like I love them a lot, but when I tell you to read it and I say I can't tell you anything about it, it's because anything I would tell you would be too much information. Beacon Pines is like that. It's like even giving you a pitch feels like too much to give you. Telling you what it's about feels like spoiling it or limiting it.
Yeah.
You know? But if people have never heard of Beacon Pines, please go look it up. It's so good. I will tell you it's a narrative branching game. That's what I will say. It reminds me of Elsinore and... oh, what's that game called? Stories... Path of Legend? A Path of Destinies, if anyone's played that, which is probably no one.
Nope, Miss Obscure RPG person.
Why do I only play games no one on this earth has played?
Because you had a PC that could only run coal.
We've had an ongoing argument in this house with coal recently, so that feels appropriate.
Made a modification on Avatar as a commission to make it female. I had to pat myself on the back. The weight painting is really good. Hell yeah!
Hey.
Hell yeah, weight painting is
It's a lot
finicky.
of things that sound impressive, so congrats.
Weight painting is finicky. I've done it like once in my life, which was literally
the wording alone makes me kind of understand what it is.
The only time I've ever done weight painting is when I did my final project for uni. So yeah.
Yeah.
Which was the only time that I fully modelled, rigged, textured, and made a model to go into a game from scratch. It's the only time I've done it. I hadn't done it before. I haven't done it since.
Oh my god, Blue! I've just realised we need to talk about the real purpose of the stream.
For me to analyze your Pokemon teams?
Yes. Okay, chat. I need chat.
Kels is making life choices for Scarlet and Violet.
Do I run an all-ghost team for Scarlet and Violet?
Because, as I messaged Kels today, running monotype teams in Scarlet and Violet is now a lot more viable because of terrestrialization.
That's what I'm thinking. And I'm willing to hunt for some rare terrestrializers. You know that about me. I would say maybe exempting starter, because I'm one of those people who wants to keep their starter to the end.
Yeah, I get that.
But assuming there's not also going to be ghost type, can you imagine
if like Coco became
that would
Fire
be
Ghost?
Fate intervening. If that becomes Fire Ghost, that's fate. That's like
what do you do if one of the other starters becomes part Ghost? What do you do then?
Be a friend and giving it to me. No, live with my bad decisions.
The thing is because so many of us are going to be playing Scarlet and Violet, I feel like the first thing I'm going to do when I wake up on the Friday morning is, once I have my hands on the game, I'm going to
When does it come out? Next Friday?
No, Friday the 18th of November.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. I feel like that Friday, once I have my hands on the game, I will literally be in Discord, be like, yo, who's free to do starter training?
I legit think that day one of the Discord channels should just be Pokemon. Like,
yeah, we will. Yeah, like I know that I've got my
drop
streaming
in and
schedule,
out.
but I'm telling you now that Friday the 18th is going to be a hecking day off for me. I'm doing nothing but playing Pokemon.
Yeah, but everyone will be like dropping in and out all day. Like there'll be 2 different people who are playing host on the world as worlds. Like because there's too many of us playing.
Yeah, you can
for
only
us
have
all to
4
be
people in
one.
the world, so yeah, we'll have a bunch of parallel worlds running.
Yeah.
It's
But
gonna
yeah,
be crazy.
no, chat, I am genuinely considering. I have sort of said if Trevenant's in the game, I consider that's like a sign. Because what have we got so far? Gengar confirmed.
Gengar confirmed. I think
confirmed.
Mimikyu was confirmed.
Mimikyu confirmed.
Obviously, we've got
My Night Boy.
Yeah, we've got technically both of them. Oh no, Fire one is actually Fire Psychic, not Ghost. Yeah, that's a misconception that's going to take a while for me to get. One of them is Ghost, one of them is not. Because they both kind of look like they could be ghosty boys.
But I've got 4 already.
Yeah.
Just from off the top of my head.
Yeah, new Ghost Dog.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Sadie!
Like, there's 4 off the top of my head. Like, if I also got my starter, and then if Trevenant's in it, that's a team, boyo.
Yep.
I would run it. I would make that hell for myself. And you know I would.
Because the thing is that with terrestrializing, you keep your original type, I believe. So you would you'd still be weak to everything, but terrestrializing gives you a chance to at least counteract them.
Yeah.
It's like you'll still be weak to dark types, but there's a chance that you might say have a fairy type, and then it's like, oh well, now I know fairy type stuff, I can beat them.
Yeah. Quick sash on Mimikyu.
Yeah.
Mimikyu's part fairy, right? Ghost fairy? Am I remembering that wrong?
No, yeah, I believe it is fairy ghost.
I remembered something about Pokemon.
Because it's unique in that regard. I think it's a unique typing still.
I always think of it as the ghost is the the burlap sack, and then the actual thing inside is fairy. The
To be fair, it's probably the other way round.
It is, yeah.
Did you ever watch any of the Sun and Moon?
A bit.
Yeah, because it was like a running gag.
Not the ones with Mimikyu, but...
Yeah, because Jessie had a Mimikyu, it was a running gag that like Meowth had seen underneath Mimikyu's thing, and from that point on was like permanently terrified of it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was literally like he got PTSD from whatever the heck he saw underneath there, and it was like, oh Jesus, this is a kid's show.
It truly is the ultimate Pox Pokemon. Like, truly the ultimate Pox Pokemon. I've not made Pox's Pokemon team. I know this is art stream, but can I do that?
It's creative.
I suppose.
We've done D&D Pokemon teams on the stream before. Watch your tail, Sadie. I'm moving my chair. Let's have a quick scroll through.
That's not what I mean.
Cerulege.
Do you think Pox would be Ghost or Fairy Ghost?
Fairy Ghost.
Half and half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sablei's
Mimikyu's
been
obviously.
confirmed. That's another ghost type.
Oh god. Is Sableye part Ghost?
It's
oh no,
dark-
yeah, I knew that.
dark
I knew that.
ghost.
I knew that.
Until Fairy type got released, Sableye didn't have a weakness.
Yes,
It's
I
dark-
did know that.
Dark Ghost. Drifloon and Drifblim. Miss Magius is in.
Oh, Drifblim. I love Drifblim.
Yeah, Drifblim is in. Miss Magius is in. There's a lot of.
There's a lot of
Sinnoh.
ghosts.
There's a lot of Sinnoh in here, which I believe is probably just
You've
because.
talked about that before, I think.
Yeah, it's probably because BDSP.
Yeah. Hey. Me and Blue were memeing before the stream started that they're making this Pokemon gem for me because I've had my like favorite stuff be Pearl for so long that like they're like, it's time for you to like another gem.
Yeah. Does mean you don't get Corviknight. Unless you break the system and have a Corviknight that's Ghost Terrestrial type.
Oh my god.
You can play the system!
Oh my god. Yeah, the one type runs are gonna have a lot of caveats attached to them now.
Yeah. Basically a lot of them will probably have the like thing of like doesn't include terrestrializing or does include terrestrializing.
Yeah. Okay. Pox's team. I'm literally pulling up a list of all ghost Pokemon. I feel like I know we've done posies, haven't we? Because we didn't know about you guys didn't know about Pox then, so
yes, I believe we did do posing.
What should Pox have? Mimikyu's like the perfect one.
Yeah.
So from there, Mimikyu's yeah. Like if you met Pox in a Pokemon's context, they would just have a Mimikyu. Like that would be their partner. Is it wish fulfillment that I want them to have Ceruledge?
No, because literally the other stream we were talking
it's a
about.
Bloodhunter Pokemon.
Yeah, literally in the stream,
that, yeah.
last stream I screamed for ages. I was like, Ceruledge is a Bloodhunter Pokemon because I read its Pokedex description. Read its Pokedex description was literally like, it's a freaking Bloodhunter. My TikTok has 800 views. What the fuck?
Yes, Blue made a very funny TikTok today.
I'm hilarious.
Yes, you are.
I'm on 58 likes. Holy shit! I wonder if I'll hit 60 before I go to bed. Probably.
Stop watching it. Aw, Marshadow's so cute.
Marshadow is a mythic Pokemon, so maybe don't put your hopes on getting one of them.
Yeah, no.
It's very cute,
No, I
though,
wasn't.
yes.
I was just literally just looking at it because I'd never seen it before. Yeah, I'm literally just looking at a list of all ghost Pokemon. Give Posey Clefairy, give Pox Gengar.
We've done that joke before.
Mm-hmm. It's true though.
Yeah, and the trainer that owns both.
Yeah.
Just depends on when you talk to them.
Yeah. What the fuck?
What?
I just opened Gengar's page, but I was like doing that thing where you scroll down as it's loading. So the first line I saw that loaded was, Gigantamax Gengar's mouth is rumored not to lead into its body. Due to the cursed energy, it is believed and said to lead to the
another
afterlife.
dimension, yeah.
Oh, the afterlife specifically.
Yeah. Always has beware though. Yep.
By laying a trap, it attempts to steal the lives of those it captures. Should someone stand near its mouth, they can hear the voices of their loved ones calling out to them. What the fuck?
Yeah, quite a few of the Dynamax things were actually kind of what the fuck. Same with like Mega Evolutions. A couple of them. It's one of those things where it's like you rarely read the Pokedex entry because it's not like when you capture a Dynamax Pokemon, it's not like its Dynamax entry pops up. It's the regular entry that pops up, and you have to specifically go into the Pokedex and read it. It's like not a lot of people are aware of them, but it's like what the fuck.
Mega Gengar has no interest in its opponents unless perceived as prey. Its relationships are warped due to the Mega Evolution. It now desires to take and curse the life of anyone or anything in its path. It may even curse its own trainer.
Don't trust Gengar.
Nope.
But even this poor little... Did you read the Pokedex description for this poor little ghosty dog?
Yes.
The Pokedex description is like, it really likes to play, but it accidentally absorbs people's life energy. So it's like, it wants to play with you, but accidentally kills you.
Yeah.
It's like, no, good boy.
It reminded me of a Pokemon, but I can't remember what it was. Was it Drifloon? Or is Drifloon the one that is dead children?
Yeah, Drifloon is dead children, which was actually in Legends Arceus somewhat confirmed to be a bit of a myth. Just an urban legend.
Oh, nice. That makes sense, because Pokemon are just, like, existing things.
Yeah, they're just creatures. Yeah, I believe that there's a subquest in Legends Arceus that is literally like, oh my god, this Drifloon is stealing children, and then you complete the quest and it's the kids literally come back and they're just like, you guys are dumb.
Drifloon steals children, Phantom is children.
Yes.
I think that's right.
Yes, and Litwick is another one. Again, it's this, I'm assuming there must maybe be like a, there must be like a Japanese, and probably another yokai or a myth or something about it, because both Litwick
There is a lot of Japanese folklore about
candles.
Like spirit children and candles and things, yeah.
Because both the ghosty dog, whose name is going to take a while to cement in my brain, both the ghosty dog and Litwick have the candles, and it says that, like, the flame drains your life energy. Like, they both do exactly the same thing. So, like, ghost candles specifically must be a yokai.
Do we think Pox would have a Phantom or a Litwick? Because I'm obsessed with them having a tiny one now. A tiny ghost. As much as I love Gengar, I think Gengar might be too much of a pain in the ass for Pox. I think Pox wouldn't probably put up with it.
Maybe Phantom?
Yeah, I'm leaning to a Phantom, but then I have a bias for Trevenant.
I know you have a bias, but my reasoning for it is, obviously it doesn't apply anymore, but originally there was the slight Fey connection, and, like, my brain, it goes to fairy types and grass types. The Fey.
Oh, and also it's forest.
Yes, forest.
Lost Charles in the Wood, Curls, yeah. I was like, I just remember my own PC's backstory.
At Unity, just sometimes it's like, fuck you, I'm gonna crash. Yeah, that's how it be.
Yeah, that's the dominant thing I know about Unity. I just spat all over my mic, I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's the dominant thing about a lot of programs, like,
yeah, for real.
Anything Adobe related.
Photoshop!
Anything. Ow! I've been boxed.
Hi, Naren.
Yeah, anything Adobe related will just crash because it can.
Yeah. Because it hates you.
Adobe hates your guts.
Oh. I just got confused by Bulbapedia. Because it had a type that was just question marks, and it was like, it's a redundant type, and the only thing in it was RCS, and I was like, oh, yeah. It's complicated.
Yep.
Okay, so if it's 50% Ghost Pokemon, 50% Fairy Pokemon. No, Carls, not every one of your OCs can have a Gardevoir.
I feel like Gardevoir doesn't fit. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't.
I don't think it fits.
That's what I thought that the moment I thought it as well, which is why I said no. Why am I fucked up fairy types? Sound off.
Grimmsnarl? Grimmsnarl be a fucked up fairy type.
Grimmsnarl, where you at? Lunatone? Lunatone is not a fairy type.
It's not a fairy type, but it is the moon. I think is the connection that Das was making there. It's ironic because Kika has a Cresselia.
What one did you say again?
Grimmsnarl is a fucked up fairy type. Or if you prefer Morgrem, the prior evolution.
I've never seen this Pokemon before.
It's a Sword and Shield one. It's based off the legends of how witches have magical hair. Its body's covered in magic hair.
Morgrem has false surrender. That sounds about right.
Also the
Look at this fucked up little guy.
I know, he's a scrunkly little guy. He's so scrunkly.
You've been watching too much Trophy.
I know I have.
Blue and Karina are emerging.
The hair becomes a little like a halberd harpoon. He stabs people with it.
Oh yeah, the end of the hair is shaped like a pole arm. Strip says that. Morgrim and its evolved form Grimmsnarl are the only known Pokemon capable of learning false surrender. It's a liar!
Yeah. It's a dark type, but it's also a fairy.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be Morgrim, right? Not Impidimple Grimmsnarl. It has to be Morgrim.
Yeah, definitely not Impidimp. Yeah, when you were like, where's my edgy fairy type? I was like Grimmsnarl, but then I like brought up a picture and I was like, Morgrim probably works slightly better than Grimmsnarl. Take a sip. I'll take a sip.
Oh shit.
Candles could be a reference to Onibi, spirits from corpses, or a game called, not even gonna try it, 100 Candles. They tell stories until the last candle goes out, revealing the monster in darkness. Yeah.
Also how 10 Candles works. The system I bought this week. I'm struggling on the fairy type ones because I have a big personal affinity for ghost types, but not so much for fairy types.
Corby here giving us a check for everything. Ugh.
Yes, I should say, by the way, if you see me sitting like this, it's because I've got a very bad back. I did a lot of things for fashion today, and now I pay for those things, including having a bad back. What if I just gave Pox a Fido?
Oh no!
I'm just picturing Pox holding this Fido like, what are you?
Who knows? Maybe you'll change your mind when we see what it evolves into.
Yeah, I would love if it did like a Beware Sitch.
I want it to be Doberman so bad.
Oh my god.
Make it burnt. Burn it and make it a Doberman. Maybe a Zoroark. Doesn't fit the typing.
Yeah. I always forget Mawil's a fairy type.
I think a lot of people do. Mawile could be a good one, to be honest.
Mawile feels
Chunky.
right. It's kind of like mean looking.
Another one that's based off a yokai. I know that for a fact.
Well, it kind of makes sense because yokai, and forgive me for anyone who actually knows stuff about Japanese folklore, but Japanese folklore is fairy tales.
Yes, yes.
Pox is based off of fairy tales as a concept. She's
Yes,
kind of like,
yeah. Japanese yokai is just like a mixture of spirits and fairy tale creatures. That's their word for it. You know, all of our mythological stuff that we have that's like unicorns and dragons, but also like spirits like the Black Shook and it escapes me. But, you know, any sort of like Celtic mythology, yokai is just their word for it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Pox's whole... She's a fairy tale.
Yeah, which is why when you were talking about the Old Forest and you were like, anything that's a fairy tale is welcome, I was like, well, my old lady's kind of a yokai more than a fairy tale. It's like, well, that's the same thing.
Well, yeah, same thing. You're allowed.
Same
That's
thing.
allowed. Granted.
She's a kitsune. Again, kitsune are also a yokai.
Okay, chat, I need one more.
We need to manifest lying in the chat because they know all about these kind of things.
Lying, show up now, please.
Please manifest.
If you're lurking, just pop your lurking emoji.
I'm sure you're probably doing your own stream, which I respect.
Yeah, you are literally living your life.
They are in fact doing their own stream. Again, fully respect. But if you got yokai questions, then lying will see you through.
Okay. I think I know what the final Pokemon is, and it's potentially one of the least popular Pokemon of all time. But I think the last one on this team is a Klefki.
Oh, okay. I don't hate Klefki. I think people are a bit mean to it.
Yes, I do too. It's literally a Master Key Pokemon, which I feel is appropriate. appropriate.
Yeah, I get it's typical Pokemon things where people go, "Oh, it's a set of keys, how unimaginative," and it's like, well, again, if you read it, it's not actually a key. It collects keys, and the actual Pokemon itself is like a little sprite. In the same way of like, Trubbish is not a sentient bag of rubbish. It's just like a little like gremlin creature.
Cheers, Naj. Yokai's a concept unique. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like obviously Yokai's its own thing, but what I'm saying is it's like, the word, orally spread mythology that's not myth. Yeah.
We don't have the words for it in our language. Becky's mint ice cream cone gets a lot of hate though. Yeah, that's another one. Ice cream cone is not an ice cream cone. It's an ice elemental that has had snow settle on its head. That's all. The snow is not part of its body. There's an umbrella yokai, for example. Yes, because it's inspires Akasol in Monster Hunter, because all of their monsters were yokai inspired.
Yeah. Okay, so Pox's team: Mimikyu, Ceruledge, Phantump, Morgrim, Mawile, Klefki. A bunch of little mean guys.
Bunch of little guys that might rip your throat out.
It's like a bunch of little mean guys and then Ceruledge.
just a straight up mean guy, just like.
I like Pox in the Pokemon universe actually, because it's always that thing with ghost gym leaders where they're just like unassuming weird children.
Yeah.
That's 100% what Pox is. I think literally the trainer icon I've used for her on this card maker is a ghost gym leader from one of the newer gens.
Potentially.
Wearing a spooky mask.
Spooky mask, that'll be Alistair, I imagine.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, they're the ghost type gym leader in Sword and Shield.
Yes, it is.
Exclusive to Shield. I didn't actually fight Alistair because I played Sword.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, we in Sword had
In
Bay.
Sword.
Yeah, we had the fighting type gym leader instead.
Twitter algorithmically generated trending topics never change.
Oh no.
It was like, hey, the Dread Wolf is trending. It's like, it's not, but I do want to see what people are tweeting. And someone's done the type the Dread Wolf, but then let your predictive text take over. Very good. Alistair is my child, you can't have them. I was just using a placeholder. I didn't even know who they were. Autocorrect. Yeah, I'll get you.
And of course, we literally had a conversation about yokai, and we didn't even mention Yurioka, which we talked about literally earlier in the stream. Also a yokai.
Yeah,
Yeah, the spirit of the dead lady in the ice. Also a yokai.
Just say, by the way, chat, if you see me snacking, I've got these fucking Biscoff Oreos.
Oh, no.
Which are... I think I have finally been defeated today. I've encountered 2 things today that are too sweet for me.
Oh.
Which I did not think existed. The 2 things I've encountered today that are too sweet for me. These guys. And I tried... Okay, there's an asterisk on the end of this. I tried bubble tea today. For the first time. But I didn't actually have tea. Because it's me. And I was like, I'm not sure how I'm going to react to tapioca in general. So the place that opened in town, and they did a brown sugar coffee with like tapioca and stuff in it. That was I think maybe the sweetest thing I've ever tried to drink. I couldn't finish, like, they only did it in regular, and I initially ordered the large, and she was like, we only do these in regular. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was like this big, and I couldn't finish it.
Wow. I think I had bubble tea once, and it was, I feel like, it's been so long, I actually genuinely can't remember, but for me, I think it was like mid, in that, like, I didn't hate it, but I also didn't, like, dislike it.
I think the next time I go, which I will, I'm gonna get the strawberry milk tea and have it as more of like a milkshakey treat instead of like a caffeine drink, you know?
Yeah.
And I will probably they do popping candy tapioca, and I think that seems better to me than just normal tapioca.
I think ironically, when I went, I also didn't have a bubble tea, and I don't think I had a tapioca either. I had just like a basic, like, standard thing. Cook for my family and actually use seasoning, and my parents said, you cook now. I cook for them because they realise I cook. Yeah, you can cook. The magic
Brown
of
sugar and coffee
seasonings.
seems like it's fine because the tapioca seems like too much. That's exactly what it is, because the reason I ordered it is because Starbucks used to do a brown sugar latte that I loved, but then it was like a seasonal thing. Which I loved, and that was like right on that boundary, but yeah, it was the tapioca that pushed over. Yeah. Which I got as an extra because I didn't know better. But it's my first time.
Yay! New things. Yeah, it's been such a long time that I genuinely can't. I don't remember, like, being like, oh god, I hate that, so I would have it.
Yeah, I would have.
But I genuinely don't remember actually what my reaction was to it.
Yeah,
I think it was very
distinctly do want to try the strawberry milk tea because that just sounds really good.
Yeah, that does sound good.
Fruit teas are better with any of the fruit, boba. Yeah. Can't remember all the toppings I have. Yeah. It was fun because Salisbury's a very old city.
Yep.
And as such, new places don't really happen much. So the fact that there's a bubble tea place,
wild.
It's funny because it's in that area where all the buildings are like medieval. So like the top part of it is this medieval building, and then the storefront is a very, very modern boba place. A weird place to live. Sorry, I laughed for no reason then. I noticed that this used to just be my PlayStation games, but if you may notice, there's just like a white space above it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just blocked off. That's all my Sims games.
Hey!
There's a lot of Sims games. It's a lot of Sims. It was so funny, because I haven't spoken to you since I found these, did I?
No.
It's very funny because I like was one day the Sims games are like my comfort games. I lose hours and hours and hours to them, and I just don't think. And they always have been, always since the first one came out. Sims 4 is apparently free now. Sad, it's still crap. Yep, that's my feelings on it as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, the fact that it is now free illustrates how crap it is.
Yes. Everyone who wants to play a Sims game should play The Sims 3. It's the best one. Okay. All the stuff they're implementing for Sims 5 that people always hype about, there was already a better version of the mechanic in Sims 3. Anyway. But it was really funny because I was like, fuck it, I'm having a bad day. I'm just gonna find my Sims boxes because I don't have a disk drive, but there's ways in EA that you can like put in your codes that are in the box so you get them digitally. I was like, oh, that saves me rebuying all of them.
Hell yeah.
But it meant I had to find all the boxes. And I remembered when I was packing 4 years ago that I essentially used the Sims cases as filler. I just kind of scattered them across 4 boxes. And I was like, oh, great, good. So I spent And I didn't want to involve my dad because I was like, I don't want to ask my dad to do a bunch of physical labor to help me find Sims discs. Like, that feels... Asking him to help me do it for, like, books I need for university is one thing. But Sims? No. I went through, and there's, like, a storage space under my dad's bed because it's, like, built into the wall. It's a long story. I was, like, pulling boxes out of there and just, like, taking everything out, looking through. And I found, like, 2 of them, and I was like, great. And I went through every single box. And then put them all back, and I was like, I've only found 2 of them, which means they're in the roof. And I'm not allowed in the roof. And I was like, okay, Dad. So my dad, with bad knees and a bad back, went up into the roof.
Oh, bless him.
Even though I told him not to. And we looked through every single box, and they were all in the last box.
Of course they were.
They were in the very, very last box. We were laughing about it afterwards, but at the time it was like, of course they are. But now they're here. I also found my Hunchback of Notre Dame DVD, so I was able to put that down. I told you that when I look back through them, I'd be amazed at what books I own and what I don't, and I was amazed at how some of the books I own. So you start with the last box, but I didn't want to go in the roof. No one wants to go in the roof. To quote my dad, I'm not allowed in the roof because if I put my foot in the wrong place, I would go through the ceiling.
That's what is that just what parents say? That's always what I was told about going up into the loft when I was a kid.
No, but I think it's true.
You can't go up into the loft on your own because if you put your foot in the wrong place, you'll fall through the ceiling. I was told that as well.
But the thing is, when I was younger, when I lived at the other place I lived with my mom, I was the one who went into the roof because my mom wouldn't go up there in case there were rats and mice. So I had to go up there. But here, my dad's like, I've got everything set up a very specific way. Don't touch anything.
Ah, one of those.
Uh-huh. Me and my dad are both that person, which is why it's great that we cohabitate. If my dad is in the kitchen, I can't be in the kitchen and vice versa. If dad enters and starts trying to do things while I'm cooking, it's near homicide every time. I was allowed up there. My dad showed me where the stable spots were. See, the thing is, we also have an exposed water tank in our roof, which makes it slightly more dangerous. Lofts are generally not properly floored or maintained. Nope. Certainly not this one.
Sure heckin' weren't. This was Spook and Stand. You spent like an entire afternoon putting down a very comparatively small amount of floorboards just so people could stand up there. Yes. But they did it properly. Like, the reason it's such a small space is because of how much the boards cost and how much it costs to get them put down. It's because we're doing this properly.
Can I, on this occasion, the art stream before Halloween, can I share something incredibly cursed about me?
Oh no.
So, in my own place I used to live, which is where I grew up, as I said, my mum didn't like to go up into the roof because it was pretty, like, roomy up there. And, yeah, she's very scared of mice and rats, so she wouldn't want to go up there, just in case. Because she apparently saw one up there one time and she'd never go up there again. Because that's what my mum was like. So I would go up there. And when I think a couple people know this, but I think it's still jarring to remind people. When I was very, very small, I was given a very large amount of ceramic dolls.
Oh, cursed. Deeply cursed.
Like, the proper, like, baby-sized, on, like, full, like, horror movie ceramic dolls.
Deeply, deeply cursed.
And I, when I was a child, had them all displayed around my room, like, in a circumference. Like, on shelves, so they would all be, like, round.
Just got myself a nice cider chill out for the evening. Tight!
Wonderful.
Enjoy the horror story you're at in here.
So, I say that I collected them, but the truth is that my, like, great-grandmother had left them to me, and then people had given them to me because I already had some. I was too young to speak on this, right? But basically, when I became a little older, I moved rooms, and when I moved rooms, I didn't have enough room to display all these cursed ceramic dolls, and because they were never really mine, and I'm very clumsy as a person, my mom was like, okay, we'll just put them in the roof. So every time I would go up into the roof to get something, so climb up into the roof, get up onto the kind of platforms that you put between beams.
Yep.
Right? I would turn on the light, and lying on top of all of the boxes and everything was like 20 to 30 ceramic.
No.
Just glass eyes, just staring at. And I'm like, how did I used to sleep? Because I would sleep surrounded by these. So, Kelsey, you want to know how to get me to burn down your house? I can tell you something extra cursed. I have no idea where those are. Because I don't have them. I don't think. I don't think my mom has them. So I have no idea where
they've returned from whence they came to the depths of hell.
They could be anywhere. They could be here. I would never know. Girls, where is Annabelle? I think one of them was called.
No.
But yeah, one of them was on like a swing. I was a profoundly cursed child. I know we've talked about this not on stream before. I was a profoundly cursed child. I was a mostly mute child whose bedroom was full of ceramic old people dolls.
No.
And I dress like this now, so I turned out fine.
Yep, said that with a straight face.
You're saying this is not a well-adjusted person?
Could a depressed person make this?
I spent a week resewing this shirt so it fit me. Gifs and memes, Carls. Oh no.
You're about to be personally attacked.
Probably.
Ah! Thank you.
Can a depressed person make this? Holds up Mara Avrina. Oh.
Oh god. You can't talk, that's all of us with all of our D&D characters.
Yeah, oh yeah. Honestly, that should have been, can a depressed person make this? Holds up Pox. No neurotypical would make Pox. None of them. Yeah, I'm trying to think of more curse stories about me, because there's definitely some of them. There's definitely a few. I feel like, though, any, like, being a mostly mute child automatically makes you cursed. Yes, but also no. It's funny because I'm telling these stories surrounded by some of the most wholesome photos of me that exist. You guys can't see them, but I can.
Spiritually, I can see them because I'm one of them.
Oh. Sorry, I'm just laughing. How terrible that is. Like that story. Oh. And I'm also laughing nervously because I genuinely can't think of where those dolls are. I don't remember discussing it at any point. And it's genuinely now upsetting me. But I was never, as like a young kid, I never encountered, like, I lived in a bubble where Chucky was not a thing yet. Like, cursed dolls were never a thing for me when I was very little. It was only when I got a little bit
Yeah,
older.
that's the answer to your... Yeah, that's the answer to your earlier question of, like, how did I even sleep? It was, like, pure blissful ignorance.
I didn't know.
Blissful ignorance. You were not gifted with the curse of knowledge.
Mm-hmm. I was more legitimately afraid of mushroom circles than I was of the cursed dolls that I slept.
Hey, mushroom circles are a legitimate fear.
And no shit. I religiously read fairy tales and Greek myths growing up, and that's never changed. But I was very much like, mushroom circles, we don't fuck with them. Mm. Have you checked outside your window? There's enough cursed shit in this house. This house... I will tell you right now, there's a, behind this desk, and a little bit that way, there is a, Dawn of Photography, etched onto silver plate, like, photo. Like, there's enough cursed shit in this house without my input.
Mm.
Yeah. I say your name in the woods and don't fuck with mushrooms, though. I was gonna bring up the story again about me not understanding why people were afraid of stone angels in the graveyard, and then I remembered the Doctor Who thing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're aware, because I'm aware.
Oh, I was one of the people who was afraid of stone angels, and you have told me the story before, so I was just
yeah. No, I meant about the Doctor Who news this week.
Oh yeah, I am. I won't say it in case there are people in chat who aren't, because
yes.
I've already thankfully I'm used to being vague about things, because I've already once been in a group chat with someone where I was like, oh, Doctor Who stuff, and they were like, yeah, I know, I've been trying to avoid spoilers so hard, and mentally I was like, I'm glad I didn't just say that out loud, because I would have spoiled that for them.
But yes, people who are in the know, I make knowing eye contact with you and nod solemnly. It is our time.
That's the thing, I haven't been following Doctor Who for ages. I might start following it. I might start following it again now.
Same. We're so weak. Look, I was already in when I found out that Rusty Ovis was going to start writing for it again, let alone recent developments. I feel like my Doctor Who obsession has not been adequately expressed, but I used to be very much a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, though I wouldn't say I was like, you know, one of the like super, you know, I know, you know, like fanatics and you know, in the you know, let's just, I'm sure you're nodding because you're including yourself in this, but let's take for example how people get about Star Wars and Star Trek. I've never been like that for them either.
Doctor Who is one of my previous hyperfixations. I could tell you, at one point in my life, I can't anymore, but I could tell you the name of every single episode in order, and everything that happens in the episodes.
Yeah, no,
the entirety of David Tennant's run.
Yeah, David Tennant was definitely my favourite. If there was any that I could do that for, it would be that one, but I cannot do that for that one because I was never that level of obsessed. I think my level of obsession is reserved purely for Pokemon and maybe slightly Monster Hunter, but even then it's not like I can't recite Pokemon episodes.
My earliest one is Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Then it's probably Doctor Who. Is it Dragon Age after that? Maybe. And then like it got too varied from that point on.
To be fair, when I was a kid, I did
major hyperfixations were Doctor Who and Star Wars.
Yeah, I was about to say, to be fair, when I was a younger kid, I was massively hyperfixated on warrior cats. Oh dear.
Oh yeah.
So much.
Yeah. We're not even including books. I was just thinking about movies.
I see. Movies and TV shows have always been a lesser thing for me. In all honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I was a kid, I used to read a lot, so it was like the hyperfixation was warrior cats, and then of course there was not even the Aragon hyperfixation. There was just a dragon hyperfixation, which was literally like I'd always known about.
Ongoing.
That's ongoing. I'd always known about dragons, but there was literally a point in my life where I was like the only media I would consume was dragons. So it was like the inheritance cycle. The Dragon Within series that I told you about before.
Yes.
And, which I still am looking for that first book for. Yeah, and then obviously like Spyro and other just anything dragon related. Dragonheart, my god, yeah. Inhaled it.
Oh,
I had the Dragonology book.
Oh yeah. I found my Egyptology book, by the way. I was looking for them. Oh yeah, things that need to be included. Egyptology, Alex Rider, TMNT, Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, Wolverine and the X-Men.
I skipped on all of that stuff. Because again, like that stuff was a lot of that is TV related, and like I skipped on a lot of TV stuff.
Oh, full disclaimer, I didn't watch Yu-Gi-Oh! I watched some episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! And TMNT and Wolverine and the X-Men on TV. I caught 1 or 2 episodes. You know where I watched most of those? YouTube. Early YouTube. Because that's what you did on YouTube. Yeah. You just watched pirated TV shows. I was never... I was reading when those shows aired. Like, that was the time I tended to read in. Or I would be at school or whatever. So I just binged them on YouTube.
Fair. Digimon more than Pokemon. I did enjoy Digimon, but I think Pokemon because the games and obviously the Pokedex and all of that. And Pokemon I think has carried on more. I still do really like Digimon, to be fair. I think the problem was that I couldn't hyper focus on Digimon as much because it didn't have as much representation over here. Yes. There wasn't as many toys and things, whereas with Pokemon it was like, the Pokemon cards and the plushies and all sorts, Pokemania, Pokemon cereal, it was everywhere.
Yeah. My early exposure to both Pokemon and Digimon, my cousin is older than me and my brother. And he gave us a bunch of let's say DVDs. Nope, before that.
VHS.
Tapes. VHS. All his old VHS tapes, because me and my brother, since we were tiny, could not eat in silence. So
highly relatable things.
We're very neurotypical.
Highly relatable things for neurotypical people.
We are so normal. Shut up. So my mom, we had like one of those bulky ass TVs with a VCR in it. And we would watch any one of those. So anything of that, like we had like 2 of the series of the Robot Wars finale. The first Pokemon movie, Pokemon movie 2000.
Yep.
The first 2 episodes of Digimon. Like we had a lot of random stuff, is what I'm saying. We had we didn't have enough Digimon to know anything about it. We just had the first 2 episodes.
Right, I get you.
And that was my whole exposure because we couldn't seek them out any other way, right? But yeah, we had like a lot of. That's also why I like, the Swan Princess and things, just like random VHSs we had. We literally had a cabinet like this big of VHSs, and every day when we had dinner, we would pick one. It was usually Pokemon movie 2000 or
objectively
the
correct choice.
To be honest, I say Pokemon the first movie. We never really got to the movie part. It was always the Pikachu on a holiday short that plays at the beginning of the VHS. That we never got past that really because we both eat pretty quick. And then Robot Wars. We watched we watched one of the first Robot Wars finale where Razor won. I think I've seen 100,000 times.
We've had the Robot Wars episode here on the art stream. We've had that one where we've
talked about it a lot.
Where we just went off about Robot Wars for like an hour.
Yeah. We should start naming the art stream VODs after like the way that like Friends episodes are named. The Robot
one with
Wars
this.
one. The one where we talk about Robot Wars. Yeah. I should talk less about me as a kid because nothing about it was relatable or normal. But yeah, a lot of my like childhood stuff that I can like, it's really weird the stuff I can relate to when people talk about it. Like I have no correlation in age. Like I can relate to people's childhood media for people who are much older than me because we had such like a random assortment of stuff and none of it was new. It was all stuff that we've been handed down. And it's the same with like when I started being able to play video games because I only could afford to rent video games. So I only played stuff that was cheaper to rent for longer. Like, I don't know, we've talked about this before, I know, but like, people who don't know about renting video games back in the day, the older video games you could rent for longer for the same price because they weren't as in demand.
Yeah, there's less demand for it.
Like, the newest video games you could only rent for like 48 hours. And no one wants that for an RPG. So I would deliberately seek out older games because I could have them for longer. And that meant I didn't have to concentrate as hard. Unless it was a Professor Layton game, in which case I beat them in 2 days.
That's fine.
Because I just dealt with it. I was like, I can only rent these for 2 days, fine. Then I beat Professor Layton in 2 days. I treat Professor Layton games like books. Like, I could read a book in a day. I could beat a Professor Layton in a day. And that's why I am the way I am. Because I've beaten Pandora's Box like 8 times. Fucking love. Have I ever talked about how much I love Professor Layton Pandora's Box? Because I do.
I actually feel like you haven't, at least not in depth on the stream. I think to me you have. I don't think you've done. I don't think you've shared.
It's hard
with
to find
class.
something me and you have not talked about.
Yeah, that's valid. We sit on the sofa and have many existential conversations about why we are the way we are.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
That's what Sunday nights are for.
Sorry, I'm just putting Professor Layton in the Pandora's Box soundtrack. So, people who didn't play... For people who like Professor Layton but haven't played Pandora's Box, it's the best one. Well, okay. It's the best one because it's the most me-branded. People get confused because it was called a different thing in, like, every country.
Yes, it was.
For reasons that make sense, because not everyone's familiar with the myth of Pandora.
Pandora, yeah.
Yeah. I want to find what is like.
List them off. List them off.
No, I'm not gonna look up the alternative names. I just want to look for a pitch for this game. Yeah, Diabolical Box was for everyone else. Give me a synopsis so I don't have to explain this as I know it. Yeah, it follows Layton and Luke on a quest to solve the mystery of the Elysian Box, a relic rumored to kill anyone who opened it. Yeah, so basically, Layton receives this letter from one of his co-workers, which is often how Professor Layton games starts. And it's like, hey, I've been investigating this box for so long, and it's rumored if you open it, you die. If you're receiving this, the likelihood is that I have died. Because I want to open this so bad. And then they end up like the box is gone and his mentor is dead. So they follow the box back to this, like, it's always like a abandoned village or like some kind of place in the wilderness.
Yeah.
And it's so different. Like, Curious Village has a little bit of a creepy tone to it, but like
they're finding their feet with Curious Village. So you know, it's the first game of the series. They're testing the waters. You know, this was before they knew they were going to get more games, basically.
Yeah, but like Pandora's Box is like dark. It's a pretty dark game, and I'm not shitting you. The like final puzzle, quote unquote, in this game, the final cutscene of this game is like 10 minutes long.
Wow. But
also the last puzzle in it, like, it's such a heartbreak. Also, this game is very much my brand. It's potentially where my vampiric tastes came from, because there is a large mansion and a man in it who is rumored to have lived forever, and like the mythology around it is very like, he's a vampire who feeds on the village. Like,
yeah,
like for people who are not familiar with Layton games, it's maybe my favorite way to do this kind of story, but like they introduce a bunch of it, like sorry, it's happening. They introduce things the way that old Gothic novels do, which they're like, here is a number of impossible, fantastical things, and then over time, through science and reason, you realize that these things are actually explainable. Which is how Gothic novels work.
I like those kinds of things, because funnily enough, when you get right down to it, that's kind of how a lot of Pokemon and Monster Hunter monsters work.
Yep.
This thing is a god, and then you read up the lore on it, and it's like, actually, no, it can just do things like this.
Yeah. But, God, Pandora's Box is so... Some of the like unveiling is so heartbreaking in a way that I can't say things without spoiling things, but like some of the truths are actually kind of very sad, but in like a sad in a wholesome way, if that makes sense. Like, it's hard to explain without spoiling things, but like, just trust me, it's very, very good. And also, so the puzzles, I think, are like have a good range of difficulty in that game. One of my favorite things to do at family gatherings, because family gatherings were very tense in my family, was to load up a Professor Layton puzzle I'd already solved and just leave my DS on the table, and I would walk away and come back, and within 5 minutes there were 6 adults huddled over the DS going, wait, but it can't be 6.
That's so good.
Honestly, I recommend it.
It's so good. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, do you want to know?
And that would 100% ensnare my dad. If I was visiting my family, if I was visiting my family,
it to my dad all the time.
If I was visiting my family and I took my DS with me, if I just put Professor Layton on there and then left it on the table, 100% my dad would end up looking at it.
One of my favorite things to do with my dad when I was younger was load up various puzzles that I had solved. And I will never forget that this is in Pandora's Box, the bastard. There's a puzzle in Pandora's Box. It's an optional, extremely hard one about the size of a fountain in a town square. And I was anything to do with math, I couldn't do. I would always go to my parents and be like, help. I can't do mathematics, even very basic level mathematics. And so my dad looked at this and he's like, I'm going to have to teach you how to calculate a circumference of a circle, because I think that's what this wants you to do. So my dad, unprompted, took me through basically the entirety of like how to calculate. Like, I was like not at the age where you were learning this stuff in school. I was in like middle school.
Oh.
And so he was like, he taught me how to calculate it and all this, and we sat there doing the math, and you know, he would go through it a couple times. He's like, I barely remember this myself. And we were like looking it up and bringing up like, you know, key stage 2 how-tos. And like, we sat there doing this for ages, and we tried a couple answers and it wasn't working. And so I bought one of the hints, and it was like, if you're calculating circumference, you're doing it wrong, was literally the hint. And my dad just like, I remember my dad just putting down the pen and paper and he went, what do you mean?
Alex? What do you mean?
What do you mean? It drove us insane. We, like, genuinely, we solved it and we were so angry. It was a trick. It was kind of a trick.
Yeah, one of them trick ones.
It was a get you kind of one, but we were so mad at it that we like put the DS away and like my dad was like, I'm gonna go cook dinner. I don't feel good. We like held a grudge. Do you want to know another curse thing that I used to do when I was younger? You know this, I think. But this is related to the Layton thing. I really liked riddles and puzzles and things because of Professor Layton mostly. And also like Dragon Age, when I first get into Dragon Age, there's a big there's riddles and things in Origins as well. Teasers.
Let me just catch one chat. I always want to play that game, but my family was trying to buy those things, like saving money when they came out. Oh, you should totally try them now. If you've never had them, you should probably pick one up pre-owned. By the way, here's TikTok from earlier. Yes, I've made a TikTok. You can go find it and check it out. It's very dumb.
It's very funny.
It's very dumb because I'm a dumb person, but I had fun making it. You can guess what my username is. It's the same as everywhere.
It's the same.
It's the same as everywhere. Gonna dip for a bit. Take my in the shower. Enjoy. Yes, look at him. We're on the best one. I love this one so much. I love this one.
It's very good.
Consider this a prompt to save, etc., and then consider this your prompt to talk about Pop. Oh, when you're not here? Of course we can talk about it when you're not here.
But no, first I need to go off about the things I'm still going off about.
Yes,
carry on. Divert me.
Carry on.
But yeah, I used to keep, I had a little notebook, and I used to keep all the riddles I really liked. And when I used to go into form at school, I should probably explain what form.
Oh, yes, you have told me this story.
I have told you this. But for people who are not British in chat, form was like registration. Like there's a place you went at the start of the school day to like sign in and be like, yes, I'm here. It was like a 10-minute class. What I used to do, because I always got there early, is I used to go up to the whiteboard and my teacher would let me write a riddle on the whiteboard and then go and sit down. And one by one, we had a mixed form class, so it was across the year groups. I would watch as they all came in and sat down in their like little groups and cliques, like early in the morning, and they would one by one start looking up at the whiteboard and going, is there? They would like, I would sit at the back of the class and they would just like turn around and be like, is it this? And I'd be like, no. And then I would go back to reading or whatever I was doing. I didn't communicate in any other way other than to say I was here and whether the answer to the riddle was correct.
Amazing.
And I did that for years.
Yeah. See, in my school, it was just you had your form was basically just your class, and it was literally sort of like the last year that they swapped it to mixed forms to try and encourage the years to intermingle a little bit more.
Yeah, that's what happened for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I say that's all I communicated. I also used to play poker. Me and my friends used to sit at the back of the class, and well, no, not even me and my friends. Me and a group of other people used to play poker at the back of the class.
There's always one group of people that sit and play poker at the back.
It was me. I was that person. Technically we weren't allowed to play poker, so we wouldn't always play Texas Hold'em. But like, yeah, Go Fish or Rummy or whatever.
We always enjoyed what we referred to as Irish Snap, which, if Das was here, he would probably immediately refer to as wrong. Which was basically just Snap, but more violent.
Oh my god, what did we call that? I think we just called it Slap or something.
Slap, oh god.
Yeah, it was actually like you have to hurt each other, right?
Yeah, it was basically playing Snap, but everybody, like, you had to play with a big group of people, and everybody had to slam as hard as possible. Like, we drew blood in that game. Yeah, that was...
We got told to stop playing it because we hurt each other.
Yeah, we always referred to it as Irish Snap. I don't know where that name came from, that was
I can't remember
that was what we called it.
Like
we just called it Irish Snap, rather than just being like, do you want to play Snap? And it's like, what are the rules? And it's like, the rules are just Snap.
The thing was, though, again, we have mixed form. Look at me. Look at this hand. You think when I was in year 10 and a little year 7 put the hand down, they would win that encounter?
God.
Like, we had to stop. There's a recurring theme of stories about me when I was younger of not knowing my own strength. But yeah, anyway, TDLR, Pandora's Box is the best part of the link.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, all the comments on the soundtrack for this game are like, God, this is such a tone shift from the rest of the series. Creepy as Professor Layton. Got really creepy towards the end. The end still makes me cry. Yeah, uh-huh. Darkest Professor Layton game by far. There's a running theme.
Uh-huh, I can
in
see.
the games that I like. It's always the dark ones that I liked. Pandora's Box, Dragon Age 2, Mass Effect 3. Same as it never was, episode of TMNT.
Legit, if I don't have an energy day, I feel down. Oof.
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 I can't say anything, I drink coffee.
Yeah, tea. I was trying to cut down on the caffeine though. I swapped all the tea I was drinking, I swapped for decaf except the one in the morning to wake me up.
It's decaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what I do with coffee.
Yeah, like I was at least trying
Even when
to...
I'm at your house where you guys supercharge me.
Yeah, well now we won't do that because we're all switching to decaf. But a pair of us are both doing it.
Damn it.
So you'll still get one in the morning.
Yeah, I need one in the morning.
We'll still have the option is there if you want a caffeinated one, you can have it. But now decaf is the new default.
Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, because you guys generally only have coffee. You guys generally don't stock decaf coffee.
No, that's true. Because
when I'm at yours,
I don't like coffee, and
supercharged.
Spook literally drinks it for the reason to wake him up. So getting it decaf would be pointless.
Redundant for him. Shut the fuck up, Core.
I need to
Girls,
carry
I
a
love all the
fish
dark-
to make the cute animal people on my island happy.
Yeah.
It's called Pastel Goth, Core. Keep up.
Dark academia. Same. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, it really is. I love the dark and evil game, but also I don't want to do the evil run of this game because it was making me
I love
sad.
dark and evil games, but also, I get to pet my Pokemon and feed them sandwiches.
Like, this is the thing. I'm really excited about having picnics with my Pokemon, but all my Pokemon are going to be mugged up ghost
I can't
boys.
believe that the new meta is going to be shiny sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that's the thing of, hey, if you make a sandwich, it'll increase your shiny rates. It's like, okay, well, this is the sandwich meta now.
The sandwich meta.
The sandwich meta is going to be a thing.
This sounds like a Final Fantasy Savage tactic.
I know, right? But that's going to be what it is because of all the different buffs you can get. It's going to be like, yo, if you're going in raid dens, you need to be making this sandwich. If you're going to fight a gym leader, make this sandwich. There's going to be a sandwich meta.
Morticia disapproves of pastels. That's true. But really, pastels. I'm making a Dark Academia themed character at the moment. As you can tell, I enjoy the aesthetic. I can't remember what I was going to say. Left me. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Are you aware that the gang, the Final Fantasy Up-to-Date gang, have started trying to do a quote-unquote Savage?
Oh no, really?
Uh-huh. So
Why?
they introduced...
Why?
No, stay with me. They introduced in the last patch hard mode dungeons, or what are called variant dungeons.
Mhm.
Variant and criterion dungeons. Variant dungeons are just dungeons with multiple story paths
Mhm.
through them. So every time you run them,
I'm
it'll be
familiar.
different.
Guild Wars got there first.
I know. I'm doing exposition, Blue. Keep with it. It's for chat, not for you. And then there is a Criterion version of that dungeon, which is basically Savage level difficulty, but for a dungeon of 4 players. And then there's also a Savage version of that because one hard mode isn't enough. So we were like, oh, something hard and challenging that only needs 4 players. We don't need to join a static.
Tight.
Why don't we give it a go?
Oh no.
The speed at which we were humbled.
I bet.
We wiped on the first ad.
The ad? Oh no.
The first pull of the first ad wiped us.
Oh,
we
no.
did
no.
make it.
Oh no.
We did make it to the first boss, and we were getting pretty consistently through. I'm gonna generously say a quarter. But because we're not really looking up mechanics unless we get frustrated, we're trying to like work them out and work out strategies and things.
Yeah, doing it legit. That's
because Kay loves problem solving in that way, and like Kay and
I'm sorry, but the way you said it literally made me think that you were just like, Kay needs the enrichment.
Yeah, Well, so do I. But,
we need to put a fresh cardboard box in his pen.
But both, like, I can't speak for Das as much because Das was very out of it at the time, bless their heart. But me, Naren, and Kay all really love the, like, when a dungeon first comes out, when that first run where you have no idea what anything does and you're, like, trying to work it out as you're going.
Oh yeah, I get the vibe. It's like when we hunt a new monster for the first time. Like we never really look up monster strategies at all. We always prefer to just fight them and learn.
Yeah. So like, it's that, but it feels more substantial and challenging, and we're really enjoying it. Even if it does, like, you are throwing your head against the same thing over and over. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, we got humbled fast. And repeatedly.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
But it's a good time. I might change up what I'm playing, because I'm playing Red Mage, but to make this dungeon harder, they've made it so you can only res using like a set system that is in the dungeon. Basically, you can't like spam res.
Right, okay.
So my usefulness as a Red Mage is very limited. So I might try and get my armor level up on Dancer because I need to DPS. Wild, right?
Level Dragoon.
Because Kay's only got a high enough item score on his healer. When do we want to attempt that fight again? At some point. We gotta beat that rat. It's extra bad because the first boss is like the cutest little fuzzball that's just repeatedly kicking around. And all its mechanics are called like Pom Friend.
One of them.
Carpet Beater. That's the Tank Buster. But yeah, it's really fun. I knew it was getting good when Kay was like, I need to draw a diagram in real life.
Hey, yeah, that's the good shit.
That's when you know you've got Kay.
You always get Kay once you start drawing diagrams.
He literally said, hold up, I need to go do some geometry really fast. Yep.
That's the victory, that is, getting Kay to do some kind of mathematical equation.
Yeah, That's when you know. Yeah, it's a good time. I'm really enjoying it.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's going to take us a very long time to do the fight. I'm okay with that. Because we all know I'm quite competitive. I do like a bit of a challenge. Even if I'm not that skilled, I just enjoy the challenge. I've just realised I needed to take my meds at the midpoint of the stream, and it's now half time.
Go do it. So long as you take your meds.
No, I can do it now.
Clicked on the window. Oh yeah.
I'm doing it right now in front of you all. You're gonna hear a lot of rummaging noises because I need to take an exact combination of these. Take metal, we will send Das over there. It's okay, I'm doing it, guys.
The reason I'll end up over there.
That's real.
I'm a much more immediate threat, I assure you.
I'm aware. Yeah, the reason why I didn't take these at the beginning of the stream chat is because I actually wanted to be present. I might disappear now mentally, but we only got half hour left.
Half an hour, it's fine. The last half hour is when we mentally check out anyway.
Yep. There we go. It's taken.
It is done.
No one appear. I nearly started. Oh, shit. I went to mark off my meds on my app, and I nearly started blaring a Drawfee episode into the mic. Yeah, the last video was doing all of Inktober in half an hour.
No, why? I need to watch
They do
that.
1 minute per drawing.
Jesus. Honestly, though, that's a really fucking good exercise, but also no.
It's really funny because
that's something I should try doing because anybody who has been a long time watcher of Artstream knows, speed is not my strong point.
I mean, we've got half an hour left of our stream.
No, I'm not going to do it now. No, I'm not going to do it now. But yeah, as a lot of people who have watched this for a long time know, speed is not my strong point. I'm quite happy with my quality. I'm quite happy with my quality, and as Spook always reminds me whenever I get upset about it, is quality is much more important. Speed will come with time.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if you watch it, you'll know Julia's literally like, speed is not my thing, so we're gonna do this. Is just gonna be funny. The only thing she can draw fast is Eugene, which is her blowbow.
Everybody's got a blowbow.
Boy. Everyone should draw Eugene. Eugene's so fun to draw. I've drawn Eugene. Her blowbow's got a lot of good shapes. The Criterion Dungeon is great because it's triggering my whole WoW raiding itch. I think it's bringing it out in K as well.
That's the thing, I've never been much of a hardcore raider in any game.
I like a challenge. I wouldn't say I've never had the chance to be a raider, but yeah, I just enjoy a challenge.
I think it's never been my thing because I get intimidated very easily. I don't deal well with pressure, and yeah. So anytime I've been in WoW raids, and quite often I've been sort of like tagging along, and it's always just been like a series of people who step up and it's like, we need to do this, and inevitably when somebody fucks up, they get angry, and even if it's not me, I get sort of like stressed out.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why I would never join a static. Never. But it's literally like us four, and like when one of us does something wrong, we're pretty patient. If we notice we're starting to get salty, we stop. Like, if we get too tired, we stop. Like, it's, yeah. Because we're buds.
Yeah.
And like, we're kind of aware that we're gonna suck at it for a long time.
Oh, wait, face it. Depending on how good my next release does on Gun Road, I might commission more. Eee, that's exciting, thank you.
Pay Blue to do things.
Give me money.
Because then by extension I get paid. Well, I don't get paid. I get to hang out here.
It's
for free. I like that I looked up Eugene Draw Detectives and one is this a picture on the wiki that's so funny. One of the first pictures that come up is like one of the pictures of him from an episode that's very it's not like he's a very pretty boy. But one of the first pictures of him that comes up is this.
Oh no. Where's my Discord?
I'll put it in Twitch chat. The Twitch chat as well.
What is that?
That is, someone has just mentioned him in conversation, in a conversation he was not part of. Yeah, this is what he... that's his actual, like, character sheet. Like, he's a very pretty boy.
Denzer Starling Guild Wars, yes!
Wait, what is happening? What just happened?
I'm sorry, Core told me to look at GIFs and memes, and I clicked on our server, and the last channel I was in on our server was the Guild Wars server, because they're giving out free dogs. And Den posted about an hour ago that she's installing Guild Wars, and I'm just like, ah!
Can't wait to collect a few years of birthday mail.
Yeah, also, our stream bot appears to just, like, be 100% broken.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because it hasn't posted for me at all tonight. As Cora's very sarcastically gone, when is Blue streaming it? There's supposed to be a bot that does it for me, so I'm gonna have to boot it out and get a new one. Because our stream bot is apparently broken. Oh my god, the cat. Mr. Bigglesworth.
What is happening? Blue, you've been distracted.
I've been thoroughly distracted, good job. In my furry Discord...
Like, what did I miss?
In my furry Discord, there's literally a meme between me. I think I've mentioned this on last art stream, but there's a meme between me and another guy because we're both essentially in the same line of work. He doesn't do art, but he does, like, Unity commissions, essentially, to, like, add accessories to people's avatars and stuff. And we both make a meme with each other, which is literally just, we'll do it for money.
Oh, yeah, we have.
So I've literally sketched out a sticker of his... I literally have sketched out a sticker of his OC, and I'm going to do one of Blue as well, of the pair of them literally in the same pose, just going, for money. And I'm just going to use that anytime anybody asks me to do anything now. If I ever get a message, they'll be like, hey, do you do commissions? And I go, yeah, I would do. Slap, for money.
That's going to be me every time you ask me if I'm ready for art stream. Are you here for art stream? Yeah, for money.
Money.
Pay me money.
Bitch.
You don't pay me money. I'm just hanging out.
I ain't got no money.
No, me neither.
We both broke as shit.
Mm-hmm. Wait, girls, you're being paid? I sure ain't.
I'm sure I'm not.
I sure ain't getting paid for shit. I'm not being paid for anything at the moment.
Hey Blue, do you fix broken stream update box for money? Take a sip, I'll take a sip.
God, my lipstick.
Posture and stretch. My back.
I'm definitely doing posture check and not looking.
Thank you. Ow. No, thank you. I think for this one, the expression is probably going to be better if I try not to also put the eye colour in. I don't know. Because the joke is that the pupil is so big. I don't know if the eye colour will literally fit in. I don't know. We'll see. Let's have a quick look. Probably put a tiny bit in, actually. Ah, the theme of the stream. Actually, that looks alright. Anyway, they are doing some extra life donation things on the marketplace, and Kitty is one of those things. Ah! Cute! Have you got your free dog? Or did you get your free dog? It's actually not, it's not like a mini, it's a novelty. It's actually not like a thing that just follows you around. Don't have Prime. Oh, F. You can actually interact with it, because it's a novelty instead of a pet, so when I first summoned it in, it was like, congratulations, and a thing actually popped up, like when you get new abilities, and it's like, you've unlocked something, it popped up to be like, congrats on your new pet. if you interact with it a lot, it'll learn new things. And I was like, pet the dog. Don't order things enough to make it worth it. That's fair.
Happening.
You gotta do like how we do, which is I share with my dad. My dad obviously does not use Twitch, so I've got Twitch Prime through his.
Forearms are free.
Oh,
Freedom. God, some of these, I'm still listening to Professor Layton's soundtrack. Some of these songs are so embedded in my brain. From when I was like really struggling with a puzzle and this one track was looping over and over again.
Oops, wrong layer. That layer, there we go. God, this fucking sticker. Oh my god, I love it. It's perfect. Thank you. I'm glad you love it.
Contemplating pop and how I'm going to ensure it just isn't me banging my two dolls together like a 5-year-old. I feel that in my heart. It's hard.
At least you've got the advantage of like a large chunk of the NPCs aren't where we are, so you can literally like
you'd be like,
not
the fight
include
happens
them.
out
Yeah,
there.
you can literally not include them. It's like we can't see them, we don't know what's happening. You can just literally skip all of them. Thankfully, that's a good thing for this setup.
Yeah, because otherwise this fight is going to take.
It would take way too long.
125,000 years.
Yeah, so thankfully, yeah, there's only
just us as a party. Our turns take 125,000.
Yeah, we have a lot to get through.
Yeah.
This is the problem when there's so many players.
Yeah. To quote Brennan Lee Mulligan, when you have that many people in a fight, there is no such thing as balance.
Yeah. Can't sleep. I'm sorry, bird.
Well, you're welcome to vibe for another half hour.
Yeah.
I am.
We're chilling.
I mean, Big G and okay. If you wanted like a Brennan Mulligan thing, have Galgaron focus on something that needs its full concentration. Like I'll do some spells to repress some ability.
Das did that before Brennan did. Do you remember the Galgaron fight when he was focusing on the orb? I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think me and Spook said.
Everyone talks to me about Blood and Sand like I was there.
I was talking to the chat at large.
But no, I do know what you mean though.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I think it went down as one of our favourite fights because it was just a lot happening, and also Buckley was an amazing badass because he like 1v1 this lady who kept stabbing him 8 times.
Yeah,
and he continued to 1v1 her because he was an awesome badass.
I'm also thinking about you've seen the subway fight in Sleeping City, haven't you? Where they have to keep giving Alejandro spells.
Yes, that was cool.
Every round. They need to give Alejandro spell slots. Because every fucking person in that campaign's a spellcaster. Literally every single one. The only melee person they have is a paladin.
I mean, you told me this literally episode 1 of, not even Unslipping City, of Fantasy High, when they were doing the corn fight. As you said, episode 1 is like the thing that I've realised is that Brennan's fights are not fights, they are something with a mechanic, and you have to, and the trick is working out what the mechanic is while there is also a fight happening.
Yes. That is how Brennan does his conflict.
Which is
most of the time. Depending on the setting. Like, obviously, Crown of Candy's a little different, because if you end up in a fight, you've already lost. But, yeah, most of the time, especially in Fantasy High and Sleeping City, that's his whole thing. Like, there's also an ongoing meme with the players of every time Brennan just puts out a single mini at the beginning, there is something else that
yeah, it's never just one mini.
Like either more guys are going to show up or something needs to happen. Something like needs to be done. I'm trying to do it more because I'm not very good at making fights in the first place. I'm trying to make my fights more
I think generally it
interesting.
makes for a better encounter anyway because
yeah, 100%. I think so.
Yeah, because as we're allowed to toot our own horn as such experienced players. I think a lot of us have done the I'm uber powerful and I'm just going to beat the shit out of you. We've done it. We've done it. It's fun. We all enjoy it, but we've done it.
Because I have an idea now. Go.
Hey, there you go.
Go, my friend.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's hard to come up with those kind of tricks, but it is rewarding.
Oh, 100%. It's slightly why I'm, like, intimidated to get to try DMing again, because obviously I've never DM'd for any of you guys. I've never DM'd for such experienced players, let's be honest.
I'm an experienced D&D player now.
Carls, it's been 6 years. Carls, it's been 6 years.
No, it hasn't. I started playing D&D 2 days ago.
You've been playing D&D longer for some people to stay in school.
It's very true. The poison gas room was very much that for me. That whole dungeon was really fun. The whole grass dungeon was so much fun.
Yeah, like, the combat was such a tiny thing of it.
Yeah. Says the other DM. Okay, guys. You got me. Yeah. DMing is fun. Because I've always, like, we've talked about this on stream before, but I always try to do different things with my dungeons.
Yes.
I feel like improving my, like, actual combat when combat does happen, more than just the fact that I can't do math very fast and trying to simplify things. Trying to make my combats more interesting is something that I'm trying to get better at. Like if you think about like the Lilith Mara fight, that was kind of an attempt.
Yeah, that was different
because you had Lilith doing one thing and Mara doing another thing, and stopping both of them was important. But
I had the least player experience of you guys for a very long time, but now I can't even say that. Yep, invalidated.
Yeah, I'm very lucky in that I've had almost equal player to DMing experience, I think. Very bizarre.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, I was about to say I'd say mine's also quite even, but really that even though I was DMing for a very long time, I've always had like 2 campaigns on the go, so
yeah.
I was always playing in 2 and then DMing 1, so it was kind of doubling it.
I think I'm still slightly more of a player than I've been a DM, but it is like almost even. Your encounters have never been dull. I don't know. I'm very critical of my combat encounters because it's the bit I'm worst at as a DM, I think.
Boo.
That's fine. Like, it's not like a self-deprecating thing. It's just like the thing that I think I'm worst at. Like, there's a couple things I think I'm bad at as a DM that I need to improve on. But like, everyone's got shit they need to improve on.
I need to improve on actually running a game. To be fair, looking over at my wall again, it's like, when the fuck would I even run a game? According to if I stuck to this schedule, like Luke, I have 1 day a week where I have nothing. Yeah, I am keeping that day free.
Oh yeah, for sure. I only know that call because of an Adventuring Party episode. Thank you, Brennan. Yeah, I really want to run, I feel like take a shot every time on an art stream I say I really want to run that phrase. But I have a bunch of like things I bought that are like a one-off. that I just want to run. Just one-shots, essentially. But, like, aren't D&D, just, like, role-playing things.
Yeah. I think my D&D status is retired. Never say never, Stanjit.
Yeah. Hell, I'd run a million things, but I ain't got that kind of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, because now I've got, what, Alice is missing, Winter, 10 Candles.
We're still going to finish Ghost Ship at some point.
Ghost Ship, I'm gonna call it fucking, what's the one I want to run? The Robo Boys.
Ah, yes, the robots.
Little robots.
I want to do robots.
There's a bunch of one-shots in there as well, like.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, as always comes up in these conversations, I want to do Pokemon 5e at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I started it, I want to continue it. Don't know
Maybe
don't know when I'm gonna, looking at my schedule, but it's in my brain.
Maybe next time I come up, I'll plan like a 2-shot or something.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Run it in person. Maybe more Ghost Ship.
Dunno. But in theory, the next time you come up might be German markets. We might actually be too busy to do a game because we're going to be we'll be out. Be out doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't picked a date, but in theory, it's going to be a thing.
Mhm.
This fight for me, surprising me, the Edmund fight was just a high AC swinging fight, but because of who it was and who we were doing sword striking us, even your Dulles was very interesting. That one was interesting me because it felt like there was the secondary objective, which was objectified by Tala, obviously throwing Thane's helmet at Cordelia.
Yeah. Well, the thing was with that fight as well, there was a turn limit on it. Like, that fight was only ever going to go for a certain amount of turns before he bailed.
Fair.
So I, like, didn't put other things in that fight because it wasn't meant to take that long.
And also because my brain is, obviously, as it always is, focused on stuff that happens, that fight is always cemented in my brain purely because of the tile-shaped dent that got left in a wall. Because, my god, did she get walloped! That was very much a wham, and then just sort of ow afterwards.
I think that might have been the fight where I panicked the most. No, to be fair, it would be the Lilith one, but I rolled so many ones that at a certain point that felt like it was out of my hand. But no, I was very stressed about the Edmund fight because I had no way of knowing if Edmund was just gonna one-shot people. I had no idea if I had balanced him correctly. So I only used some of the mechanics I had, and I forgot others that I'd intended to use. But I was stressed the entire time. Especially with his, like, he's so fucking mobile. I wanted it to feel like a challenge, but also I didn't want it to feel like I wanted him to feel out of your.
Yeah, that's the tough thing in D&D because
like too strong for you guys.
Yeah,
but
that's the tough thing in D&D because when it comes to like things like generally good narratives in like any in video games and books and films, they don't just pull out a random villain at the end. It's a villain that you've seen throughout the narrative.
It's the thing is because I'd ground a lot of Mara because thanks you do a lot of work there for me.
I get very obsessed about my characters. We know this.
You are my Rizgutgak that you bring the plot to the party.
I've done it once before. I'll fucking do it again. Actually, no, I did it twice before.
You do it in every campaign you're in.
I did it twice before. I'm sorry.
No. You do it in every campaign.
I'm sorry.
Think about it for a minute. No, don't apologize. That's what DMs want. Yeah, exactly. You want to see what he would do. Like, yeah, I knew that I needed to bring Edmund in because he was a villain from Thane's backstory, and like he's done a lot of bad things, but I didn't want him just to appear.
Yes.
He's his own brand of fucked up, and you deserve to know about it. he's different and worse in some ways. So yeah, I wanted to sort of bring him in. But that fight was very stressful for me, especially because you guys hadn't rested before you went in. I was like, oh, I might just kill them. Yeah. And I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
If he killed one of you, I would have been okay with it, because that feels like a threat.
Yeah. So in my campaign, when I wanted them to meet like a big bad before their time, afterwards I almost felt really shitty because it's a villain, so it's like they do villainous things, so they literally use like non-lethal spells to basically make fun of the party.
Yeah.
But it then meant that when they got to actually fight him and kill him, it was a lot more satisfying. Well, that was the guy who like had a really anticlimactic death, and they pitied him. He got shot out the sky because he got corrupted by a dragon soul, and it was very much a look how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a very stressful time. Yeah, it was different because Mara can kind of be anywhere I need her to be narratively. I can make Mara around.
All I gotta do is go to sleep and she's around.
Yeah. Edmund's not built like that. So yeah, needed him to be around.
Speaking of Tyler going to sleep, dream sequence is gonna happen.
It is, yeah. We gotta get through the rest of the heist.
Yes,
I've got it right.
And I guess technically based on the timeline is gonna actually happen first because Thane and Tyler are going to sleep.
Correct.
So yeah, dream sequence is gonna happen before we go do Tyler's stuff.
Yep.
Fun!
I've got literally like a pinned bookmark in my head of what I think you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited for being wrong or being right.
So I was prepared to tell you. I was like, I'll tell you what she wants to do so you can prepare. And you were like, nah.
I can't imagine you would pick something so left field that I wouldn't be ready.
To be fair, no, I don't think I would.
Yeah. And if you did, I would still win.
That's what you usually do, and you always do amazingly.
Yeah. I literally can't. I've talked about this before. I literally can't prep that much. I need to wing it a certain amount. If I prep too much, I'm shit.
Still talking about villains, doing a parallel talk about Tyler's dreams.
Yeah. But yeah.
Lord knows I love a fucking dream sequence.
Yeah, so do I. Hence, mechanic. I love the way that you guys have leaned into that mechanic.
It's a good mechanic.
Didn't expect it to be as fun to play with as it has been.
Are you kidding? I feel like I freaking love dream sequence all the time. I'd write fics about Delmara's dream sequences and.
I've written fics about Delmara's dream sequences.
I know, it's one of my favorite things that I've ever read. Thank you, but I'd write them about Blue's dream sequences as well. I love dream sequences. Yeah, those were ones that didn't really see the light of day. Blue's dream sequences because they petered out. She had a lot of nightmares that she didn't talk about because she didn't like to bring people down.
Yeah, I get it.
Sometimes the nicest people are the saddest. It was very much a theme for Blue.
Yeah. But yeah, I ran into the original draft of that Delmara fic, by the way.
Yes.
It's in one of the notebooks. I was looking for my telling lies notes.
Hey.
And I found my original draft of that. Very close to the final. Yeah, exactly. You got it, Taz. It's hard because the way, I've done it a couple times, like Fallonsmore, when I, killed Ilsa. That kind of did it. But I find it... I'm still learning. It's fun to remember that this is still my first campaign.
It don't feel like it, doesn't it? Oof.
No. It feels like I've run for 85 years. But yeah, I'm still learning how to introduce narrative elements.
Yeah, thankfully, when I introduced Imrith to my party, she did get a lightning bolt off, a lightning breath off on a bunch of them. Thankfully, I don't think anybody was downed, but people went into single digits, and it was the immediate 180 of, oh shit.
Nice people have dark backstories. That's never happened before. Looks around nervously.
It makes for engaging storytelling.
Yeah, I for reasons in previously mentioned parts of the stream, that was always just going to happen with me. my grip on what is and isn't dark is not good. Well documented problem with me. Oakheart is like Game of Thrones in that anyone can die, including the heroes.
Yeah. Wait, I thought that was the idea.
But also, I wholly believe your campaign's antagonist can be gone too. Yeah. That's what I want you to feel like. Like, I feel like... How do I... Oh god, how close are we to the end of the stream? We've got 10 minutes. I'm not going to get into this too much. But, I feel like that threat should be there. Like, you know... I don't know how to word this without making it a whole 20-minute segment. Yeah, that's how I want it to be. Basically. Yeah. TDLR.
I do kind of enjoy the thing because once the initial sort of shock of like the dream sequence wears off and then a certain level of familiarity occurs, that's when Talos starts to become a bit of a little shit, actually.
Oh, 100%.
Which is so
This is the
fun.
truth. I want to preach some gospel real quick. The real reason why Tala and Zal get on so well, as much above everything, is because deep down, in her heart of hearts, Tala is as much of a little shit as Zal is.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%.
Truth.
Yeah,
like,
and that's
heart,
honestly, I think that's a little bit of me coming through in where everybody, you know, you always put a bit of yourself in your character.
Oh,
with
also,
Tala, for me, I think it is like there is a certain amount of me that really just wants to be like, I just really want to piss you off. I really want to make you angry.
But also, I think if Tala had grown up in as, I'm gonna say safe, but loose, environment as Zal did, Tala would be more like Zal.
Oh, yes.
Because a lot of Tala's hardness and seriousness comes from her situation.
Mm-hmm.
But that little piece of chaos of like less caring about the consequence and like letting things be light and that doesn't matter,
yeah, is
like in there.
Yeah.
Of like, you know what, this will be fun. I just want to have a good time right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, that is 100% why. That is 100% why they get on.
Oh yeah, I agree with that, Des. In the way there's no super anime punch-up Superman sent through 16 floors of a building. There's always risk, danger, and tension. Yes, that's what I want.
Like it always came through with some of the old Castle Cruise stuff. It was like, it was why we had mage shenanigans. It was like all of us deep down just really wanted
shenaniganry.
Really just wanted shenaniganry, and really just wanted to, like, you know, let's just do something and try to make people angry. So the amount of stuff Hello, Nemo. Hello, friend. The amount of stuff that we would do just to try and get a rise out of somebody was infinite.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think I'm having fun with it with Pox, because I am so used in both my actual life and in my characters to being the one who's there just like, you know, like the glory, right? Yeah. Like the mom of like, what did you do? Like, that's what I do in the Free Company, you know, like, but also to some extent that was my role in Castle Crew as well.
A little bit, yeah.
And there is something so freeing about being the one who's gonna be like, I want to do the dumb shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the one that is accountable.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the one that everyone's like, you are the moral backbone of this party.
Sometimes we are all grabbed with the innate desire to just be a piece of shit. And I think the first time it was truly evidenced in
healthy.
Tala was when she actually woke up from that first stream and started giggling and was just like, "Oh, she's mad." That was the first
She's
time.
so angry at me.
Oh, she's so pissed. And instead of being like, "Oh no, she's angry," it was the fact that her reaction was to laugh. I think was the first time it sort of came up of like being a piece of shit.
It was literally like,
just like, "Oh, she's so mad."
It's the little kid who's like, I don't know, like nicked some sweets from their local corner shop. Like,
yeah,
it's the mischief.
I just pissed them off, and I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, it's fun. It's very freeing. It's stressful, but it's freeing. It can be both. I like playing it with Pogs as well because Pogs is quite a serious character, but like the things that are shenanigans above board are very serious in character. So I get both, right?
Yeah.
I thought the Triceratops was the moral backbone of D&D. Well, I like playing Madrash because he will just eat someone who annoys him and I don't care. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Kid is also another character where I have to be responsible. But my way of dealing with that is that Kid is also weird and insane.
Yeah. I live in like permanent limbo because a big part of me does enjoy shenaniganry, but a large part of me is very afraid of consequences.
Yes, I do know this about you. Which is why I've put you into a place where you can't die.
Yes, I'm very, very happy.
I want you to shake it out. I want you to get it out your system.
But I'm about to have a dream sequence.
I know, but I want you to go into that dream sequence with the same whatever happens energy. So I want to loosen your muscles.
Well, I think that's going to be the idea, which is why I want to have this particular dream sequence.
Yeah.
Because I know what I want to do, and I'm very much going in with a... This is probably gonna have consequences, but I want to do it regardless.
I love watching you guys in Oakhart slowly get to the point where you're like, let's just fuck everything up.
Well, crap, sorry,
like,
it's like... broken, we can't get it. Oh, I thought, didn't you know, Core? That came to like 5 hours ago, unfortunately. Because apparently Niantic doesn't test their software.
Oh.
Because they literally announced, hey, there's going to be a Zorua event, and then less than an hour later they were like, Zorua event is broken.
It broke. It
broke.
What was I saying?
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, no, it's okay. You were reading chat, you were doing what you meant to do. But like, I like that we're getting to that point. Like, Kay's like, what if I blew up Serpent's Head Castle? Like, you guys are all getting to this point where you're like, I need to make big plays. Let's go. That's what I wanted you to get to. Big plays only.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're gonna have consequences, but like you're facing those consequences already.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what Tala thinks, which is why she's
like, we're literally going there to face the consequences.
Yeah, I think that's why Tala in her brain is like, I'm gonna do this thing, because it's like, bad things gonna happen regardless.
Yeah. I think I'll be the last person to take that step. That's okay. In your own time. Maybe my next D&D character should be someone who's actually good at talking to people. As someone who's
unrealistic.
Done it. Don't do it.
Unrealistic.
I have to be the one who talks. I have to be the one who talks in Oracle of War, and my charisma is not good. But it's better than everyone else's. Just about to get a shout out by the rest of the party. Do as Zal does and just don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Me and Kay have talked, like, we were just like chatting after like a Final Fantasy session or something, and he was like, at a certain point I'm gonna have to sit Tala and Thane down and be like, so I've told Ferret to blow up something.
Yes. And again, it will be it will be very funny because again, I feel like Tala's reaction will be like, sick.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nice.
Like,
actually, that's a good idea.
But he's like, I'm not looking forward to that conversation, I'm not gonna lie. I'm still amazed that he told you guys that he was gonna go do a heist.
I know, right? Character growth.
Oh wait, never mind, Sonia. See?
See?
I'm already getting there.
Yeah.
I'm making my plays. They're definitely well thought out. He told Thana, not Tala. Yeah, well, that's understandable. Tala, but the thing is, that's a bigger step. Because Zal telling Tala is one thing, but Zal telling Thane.
Yeah. Like, I think the party as a whole had a very big step when, Zal had his dream, and he told Tala, and then Tala's immediate reaction was, we need to tell Thane. I feel like that was such a big growth moment for the party.
Slowly, you are all...
I know, right?
Becoming an actual party.
10 sessions, 10 sessions in, the party is finally together in a 12-session campaign.
Mind you, that character is the center part of what you guys have called the Nemo connected universe, so I have to debate whether to bring them in early or leave them until I've played all of the parts.
That's very funny. I saw when I was as Buckley, hey, we don't need to worry about Distone.
I need everyone here assembled to know that I know very much what Distone is, and I'd like love and respect the campaign it comes from and the work you've done, Das. For some reason, every time I see it written down, I think of Spiritium.
Oh, okay. I can see
it. Every single time.
I can see it.
It's so tenuous. It's 11:03, by the way, Blue.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Nemo, the next time we're playing the kids again, you better fucking be there. Because Pox and King gotta have a talk. They really do. There's a lot happening there. We have tomorrow and then 2 more sessions before I take a break. Okay. At some point, I'm going to fall off the radar as well, just as an FYI.
Yeah,
Again.
that's going to be December, January, really,
soon.
isn't it?
It's going to be soon.
Fair enough. Hey, try to pencil in some time at some point in November. I'll try to let you know when, but I also don't know myself.
Speedrun Cloth, we can do it tomorrow. Yeah, sure, let's go. I missed the last kid stream, as there was no stream, so I don't know what I missed. It is up on YouTube.
Yes, there is a VOD on YouTube. It is available. It's linked down below.
I'll find it. I'll link it in chat.
It's literally called, it's youtube.com/blueskywolf09 streams.
I'm gonna find the specific VOD. I'm gonna be a good mod right now.
It's, I think it's the mysterious
case.
No, it's not nice. No. It's the mysterious case of the missing mages.
Mysterious, is that? I've got it. I have it.
Mysterious case of the missing mages.
It's here. It's that VOD.
My favourite Professor Layton game.
I nearly linked the Professor Layton soundtrack instead of that VOD. Fucking chat.
Speedrun Cloth, we can do it. Yep.
I've never played a Layton game. Pandora's Box is the one you need to play. You missed the conversation where we were talking about it. Everyone, if you're gonna play a Layton game, play Pandora's Box.
It's arguably the one that is
depending on where you are.
According to your own testimony, it is the least Professor Layton game, apparently.
Well, no, that's Forgotten Future or whatever it's called. But it is a darker tone. I should play them all, correct?
Correct. Some of them are
Oh
on
no,
the Switch.
not Forgotten Time, sorry. Azran Legacy is the least best
Oh, fair enough.
which is the one I haven't beat.
There is one on the Switch. I can't remember if they did a collection or if I'm...
There is, I believe it is a collection.
Is there a collection? I'm pretty sure there's an Ace Attorney collection, and I know that...
There is?
They did a crossover.
Yes,
well.
they did. The one on Switch is Catriel and the Millionaires Conspiracy.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Actually, I don't think that one has Professor Layton.
No, because Catriel is, I believe, Professor Layton's... I don't know if she's his daughter or just
Yes,
his...
because Emma's not his daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if she's his daughter or just the person who takes his place.
Yeah, our story begins with Catriel setting up the Layton Detective Agency on Chancellor Lane, which is where
Yeah.
he used to...
Catriel Layton.
Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright was on 3DS, but did they remaster it for Switch? I'd have to go and get my Switch. I'm gonna grab my Switch because it's right there.
Go for it.
My camera off.
Did I mention how much I love our 80s arcade floor whale lately? Because I do. Yes, there's a shout out to Frog, which is why she's credited. She did the whale, and I did the 80s arcade floor pattern to go with it, because she made the 80s style logo. And probably really annoying Frog by saying it's 80s when it's probably not actually 80s, but I'm going off what you said. Thank you. Yes, all of the icons represent all of the party members. That's why I'm actually really proud of it. All of the icons represent the party members.
Okay, that was only a slight disaster.
It's probably very apparent who's who, but if you want to guess, then I can answer for you. But it's very easy to tell. Didn't realise. Yeah, I spent like an entire afternoon making that. Clearly King is the three sons. Oh, yeah, clearly.
My Switch is out of battery.
F.
Cusses.
I'm actually, I think, most proud of Lowe's symbol in the 80s carpet, as we're calling it, because it's the only one where the foreground and the background are actually different. Because the foreground is a comedy mask and the background is actually a tragedy mask.
Yeah.
And I think you can date when I made it because it has Posey and Pox. Because the front moon is cream into pink and the rear moon is red into black. Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of 80s, this song. Yep.
Right, Blue, we gotta end the stream.
Okay.
Because my meds are kicking in and I'm becoming less conscious.
Okay. I did like 2.9. This one's not quite done. No, I know, it was silent.
I'm sorry, I've drugged myself on stream.
Elsa's been drugged and she has to go to bed.
Yeah.
We did 2.9. This one's like nearly done. The lining. I gotta fix the hand. Because it's always the hands. But do not cry, people! There will be another art stream tomorrow as per my new stream schedule. It will be an afternoon stream starting at approximately 2 o'clock. Give or take. So you can come and join me and I will be continuing these tomorrow. And then we will have Flight of Princess in the evening. Tomorrow is the very full day where I stream twice, so you can follow for art in the afternoon and D&D. We will then have MMOs on Thursday, me and Spook being a gross couple on Friday, Saturday is my free day, and then Sunday is Pokemon time. Wah. and then we come back around, and then we come back around again. Yeah, so you can find my proper schedule like down below. I will try to obviously keep people updated, but because adult things have been occurring in my life, it could be that streams might get cancelled last minute because, you know, spoiler alert, I've mentioned it before, I'm trying to buy a house. So, you know, streams might get cancelled for property viewings is basically what I'm saying. If somebody calls and is like, hey, I want to come look at your place, or we find a place we want to go look at, it could interfere with the schedule, but I'm gonna try to stick to it. Currently, we don't have anything planned, so the schedule is as it is right now. Yeah.
Right, we're off.
We're off. I'm probably gonna go make a cup of tea because I really want one. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. We love you loads. We'll see you tomorrow for more Hard Work and D&D. Goodbye.